Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Takba, and welcome back to this dramatic reading of Order and Chaos by Tastro. Chapter 18. Challenges! Dude! The Shivering Isles looked even more chaotic than usual as a result of the game selected by Marius Dragon's challenge. After the farce of Hermoris' challenge, it was decided that the challenger had to agree to a game after hearing the rules, or the challenged had to pick a new game. After the third selected game, however, the challenger had to agree to one of the offered games, as long as they were significantly different. Upon hearing the rules of the first game Discord offered, however, Dagon had agreed to it immediately. The notion of a game in which a single word could create or destroy with impunity appealed to Dagon immensely. The game was Materialization Shatori. The basic rules were simple enough. Each player said a word that began with the last letter of the previous player's word. If the thing thus stated existed, it was temporarily shunted into zero sum until the end of the game. If it did not exist, it was brought into existence. Each player had exactly 1 minute to come up with their word, or they forfeited. The game ended when one player proved unable to speak a valid word within the time limit. Repeated words were forbidden, though repeated items or concepts were allowed if a different word or variant of the word were utilized. In addition, multi-word descriptions of items described in 2 or more words were allowed, as long as it described a single thing. Given the nature of Daedra, certain additional rules were created. First, they could not use each other's names or their domains as words, and thus directly erase their opponent for the required time period. Secondly, a specific language alphabet was agreed upon in advance that they used, and words were only valid if they could be written in that alphabet. Third, no outside assistance. Of course, Discord still proved to have an advantage over Dagon, since he seemed to have knowledge of things that did not exist within Arbus' sphere. The hydrogen bomb. That was his first usage, for example. Dagon still had no idea what that was. Fur. Discord offered calmly as it came to his turn again, and Fur vanished from his savior's hide, from his own hide, and every creature and garment in the area. Dagon glanced around, trying to come up with something, and spotted one of the creatures summoned. Rhino! He barked out, and a nearby rhinoceros vanished. Discord clicked his tongue chidely. I'm not sure if that should count as outsider interference or not, he offered thoughtfully. After all, it's only because Doligorath called it a rhino when I summoned it that you knew the word. He's obviously on your side, Dagon barked back. Point, Discord concluded. Old bag! Narmia vanished into zero sum, causing Saragween to burst into laughter and give Discord a high five. For some reason, I feel immensely pleased with myself, Merida observed idly. Dragon searched his brain for a word to use. Granola! He shouted out desperately. As granola began to rain from the sky, Discord shook his head sadly. And now, you lose! What do you mean? Dagon demanded angrily. Because I can use a valid word that I can exist without. But you cannot, he allowed simply. As Dagon's eyes widened in shock and fear, Discord barked out, Arbus! When reality turned a minute later, with the end of the game, Discord accepted Meherison's, Dagon's sincere, if disgruntled, oath of fertility. Discord sat across from Mephalos as she glared at him in hatred. So, that's the game you've chosen to accept? Mephala snarled angrily, but subsided. Yes! Of the 3 you suggested, that's the one I will accept. Discord chuckled. Alright, as agreed, you have 1 hour to succeed. As he spoke, Vermina moved up to stand beside him. See if you can show me something Vermina hasn't. Mephala chuckled darkly. Shouldn't be too hard. I asked Sarah Queen For pointers on how to keep things fresh, Vermina interrupted, enjoying the sight of Mephala paling. Time started, Mephala, Discord spoke up. You reign over lies, sex, murder, secrets, and plots. Surely you can be creative. His eyes narrowed. What are you waiting for? Seduce me. One humiliating hour later, Mephala had regretfully sworn fealty to Discord, and Vermina gave Saragween a hood of Dreamweave, which would let him peer into mortals' dreams to observe their most debaucherous fantasies as payment for his tutelage. Molag Bal stared at the board in disbelief. It had been going so well. Discord had offered a game that was all about conquest, which seems right up Bal's alley. The cards and dice had seemed consistently in his favor, and he conquered most of the board before too long, with Discord letting him roam free. It seemed it was all coming to an end as Discord seemed trapped in one corner of the board, gaining a pittance of forces each turn as Bal amassed a seemingly unstoppable horde. Then Discord had begun flipping that coin each time he rolled his dice. Molag Bal then watched in disbelief as his troops were eaten away to nothing, leaving him, after his overconfidence, with only one troop in each territory. Discord then let him build again the next turn, only to meet the same fate. And the next, and the next. And then Discord had moved. Dividing his forces, he swept from his corner across the entire board, devouring the world chunk by chunk, until Bal's last troop was wiped out, leaving him beaten. It's impossible, he groaned disbelievingly. Discord chuckled softly. What did you expect from a game called Risk? That was a surprisingly fun chapter for me. I mean, maybe it's because it was so easily broken down for recording purposes, but that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that immensely. For those who are not familiar, I'm guessing, and actually I think if you look in the comments, it brings up Discord pulled the classic Australia strategy, which for those who are not familiar with it, with the board game Risk, Australia, despite being that territory, despite being only 3 territories to claim, you have Australia in 2 halves, and I believe Thailand, the peninsula, also counts, is worth, a lot of troops each turn for being such a small area. And because there's only really one entry and exit point, they can't mass big numbers of troops. So adding a lucky coin that Discord's flipping for dice rolls, and yeah, it was pretty much over. I've seen it a couple times during some of my all-night lock-ins I've done in the past. Fun times. Let's see. Next one should be interesting. I think in the next one I have to speak backwards or figure out how to make this recording program go in reverse. I'll figure that out shortly. In the meantime, folks, my name's TechBan. I wish you all good luck, good hunting, and safe travels. I'll see you in the next one, my benditos.